Of course, but then. Okay, good morning everybody, nice to see you. Thanks for coming to find a little bit of information out here. Please don't expect it to be as dynamic as the last speaker this morning because he was amazing and I really enjoyed that. So I'm going to do the best I can for you to make it as interesting as possible. So this is my school, so a little bit of background information. We're in a deprived area, so deprivation being, most deprived being 1 and least 20, we're 3. Okay, so that will come in a little bit later with attendance because our attendance is 96.5, so really high attendance, and that is thanks to this really as well, the Scomis, so you'll find that out. And we've got a high rate of antisocial behaviour just to add into the little mix of things, so you can get a little bit of an idea of the cohorts that we get coming in. My plea to Scomis, so this was my plea. I needed some help. Please help me. I'm trying to save money, trying to do the best for the children and the staff. How can I do that effectively? So that was my plea to them. So our journey began, and this is the different things that I was focusing on along our journey. Some of the things were easier than others, I can say, but we did get there. So the issues we were facing, we had school pupil tracker system, and I wasn't finding it effective to record progress now. There seemed to be a little bit of a gameplay of teachers working it towards the end of the academic year. I wasn't happy with that because I wanted to know where they were connected to ARE at this point in the term, not at the end of the year. So I wanted to know, so if they're ARE now, then that's what I want to know. I don't want to know, yeah, they're going to be ARE here. I want to know now, spring 1, whatever it is, I want to know now. So that was something that I wanted to work with. The register, I'd had a few issues with the register. It was still a paper register when I went there, and I wanted to change that. My concerns were safeguarding, that it wasn't getting to people quick enough. Also with people, some children walk into school, you need to know straight away. So that was something that I was a bit worried about. And also my Senko was part-time when she wasn't there. If I needed information, sometimes I had to trawl files and, whether that be on the computer or physical files, and that for me wasn't good either. And I felt a little bit incompetent, if I'm honest. So I wanted to make sure that I'd got that at a press of a button straight away. No worries. So that is where we were. So what have we managed to achieve? The assessment of pupils' knowledge is more effective, it's more instant, it's less workload for the teachers, okay, which obviously is one of the Ofsted expectations now, less workload for teachers, mental health and all of that. So I still feel confident with the assessment that I've got, but it is easier for them. Registration is live, so I can go on. I have done this morning and had a look at who's away, why they're away, all of that, and I'll go into a little bit of that and show you in a minute. But it is immediate, so the office, myself, senior leaders get that straight away. And what I do at my school is if nobody rings in and lets us know why those children aren't in, then I go to their house and find out why they're not there. Obviously, initially when I started doing that, it came as a bit of a shock, but in the last 12 months, I've only had one parent not contact the school when their child's been off sick or somewhere, because when the new children come to the school, I make it very clear that if they don't let us know, it's a safeguarding issue. I take it, seriously, and I will be knocking on their door. So, and if they're not in, then where are they? So, and then obviously if they're not in, then I contact the educational welfare officer and they follow up from there. So we don't have many problems like that, and I think that that's also why our attendance is 96.5. Senko, so even though she is part-time. We've got this immediate information. It's effective, and I've got everything I need at the touch of a button. So it is, safeguarding again. I haven't got to worry about anything. It's just all there, and for others to access as well. So teachers, and it's just easy for everybody, and that's what we want, isn't it? Everything to be as easy as possible, less time consuming. So our next targets, because we don't want to stand still, we want to keep moving forward. So I'm embedding all the areas, so if we don't use it, we lose it. So it's making sure that all of the teachers use it effectively and regularly. Some of them have to be poked and prodded, and some of the administrators as well, you have to make sure that they're doing these different things, so making sure that they're doing that in a nice way. And I do buy them biscuits and chocolates and things as well, just to keep that encouragement going. The Senko, she's done extended training with Frank, and then from that she's doing insets with the rest of the staff, and once they're effective with that, then she will be having more support to move it even further on. And I'll share all of those little bits with you in a minute. It's not just me talking off of here, there will be some other bits in a minute. Sims, one of the bits in the area is discover, and I think that this could be used more effectively with assessment. So I'm going to be finding Capita today and just pointing them in that direction. He was talking about moving boundaries. I'm not the lion in the cage, I'm one that's out there, so I want to get this changed for all schools to make it more effective. So that's something that I want to do.
Make sure that I take you to the staff.
Yeah, make sure you do, because I should be getting that done. I'm just like anybody else. I'm not amazing, and so if I can do it, anybody can do it, okay? You do have little bits and bobs to overcome, but you do get there. So moving on to the nitty-gritty. I've got a little bit I've just got to read, so bear with me. So with the help of Scomis, we have been able to unlock the benefits of SIMS, empower our staff with the information they need to improve outcomes. We have reduced the number of systems we use, saving the school time and money on repetitive tasks. So it saves so much time, you wouldn't believe. All the pupils' information is in one place, giving us insight so that it can help us make an impact, all right? So, homepage. One of the things that's the easiest thing to find, and it took me some time to find it, is documentation. And this is a great go-to tool. If you've seen it, brilliant. If you haven't, anything you want to find out is there. My staff will come and ask me, oh, how do I do that? Go to this part, go there, just try yourselves. I'm not the font of all knowledge, just go and have a go. So that's that area. And then if we move on to SEN reminders. So this is setting up SEN reminders. So we're going into the focus, the alerts, set up reminders. Now this is something that is really handy for the SEN. So here you can choose which reminders you want and when. And if you click over here, you can say how far in advance you want those reminders. So you don't even have to remember them yourself, because they will automatically come up and give you a little poke and say, this is coming up, make sure it's sorted. So that's really handy with that. Did you see how that was done? Because sometimes it's a bit, yeah, so focus, alerts, set up reminders, and it's there. You can always grab Frank and myself a bit later on, or there's the Genius bar up there, and apparently they're geniuses, so they should be able to help you. Now, on the timeline, we've got so the register and registration.
Quick search.
Oh yeah, quick search, sorry, yeah. The quick search at the top. So we all know how to do that, yeah. But if you hover over here, it gives you information, basic information, which saves you going in and looking at that child or that staff member. It's got staff information there as well. So it's something that you can have a quick glance look without having to go into the whole system, which is helpful, especially my administrators found that really quick and helpful. So, moving on to the register. If you'd like to click on the register, obviously you have the children come up connected to the register, and in there you can right click and you can choose any of these, but obviously our focus is more on SEN, but obviously you can see that there are other choices there which then show you those, and pupil premium is important. This obviously wouldn't be shared with the children, but this is a great go-to for teachers because, especially at the beginning of the academic year, they can't always remember who those children are that are pupil premium. The SEN, yeah, maybe, but what, you know, where are they? Which SEN need are they? And it's all there. So that can make things a lot easier. And then highlight a child, and then we can move across to the links over here and link documents. So any link documents in your SEN area is going to come up at some point. It was working like that earlier. I think everybody else is using it now. It's like, and probably going away and practicing it and doing it with their own school. So
Anyway.
But it does come up with the linked documents.
Spend a lot of time getting those documents to the linked documents area so that
so that then is instant for me from the SEN. The link document, so that it's children's documents, so SEN, so if they've got EHC plans, reviews, anything like that. It would have been previously, but now it's saved on here.
So when it's uploaded,
yes.
Is it editable from?
Yes. Yes.
Do you work with existing versions, or do you work?
Well, if it was a previous document, then it would be, it would already be done, wouldn't it? So you upload it once you've finished with it. So it's an end document that then gets uploaded, yeah? Is that okay? I mean, you can download from there, so if it was next year and you didn't keep anything on your system, it was all on there. I wouldn't advise that myself. I'm a little bit OCD and have to have it in at least a couple of places, but one place that everybody can access, then that would be the best option.
got there.
Oh, you got there, well done. So in here then you've got your different documents. Do you want to click on one so that then you've got your information on here. And then you've got all of that information accessible and at the touch of a button, really, so that makes that a little bit easier.
Can I ask one question? We're partway down this part.
Yes, yeah, of course.
With the linked documents. Our issue has been, we started with the view to the fact that transferring documents on transition and movement, sending it in CTF files,
That's down to you. That's not me.
we started with the view because of all the GDPR.
Yes, yeah.
Transferring documents is a major problem.
Yeah.
The cost of doing it posting is phenomenal.
Yeah, so when you do a common transfer file, you've got the information, but you haven't got the documents that are behind it.
Yes.
No.
So they don't move.
I think you need to just capital place as well and say, how are we going to do this electronic?
Yes, because that's how it should be.
Yes, no, it should, yeah, it definitely should.
Transferring the documents and linked to that student.
However, they might say, as I've been told with GDPR, that not all documents need to go across because, no, I get that, and I totally agree, but I'm sure that that's what they will say back, because, you know, been there, done that. Right, okay, attendance. So if we move on to attendance, and then here you've got your overview of attendance, but also what you can do is you can hover and find out why they're away, so you can hover and find that out. If you were to print the document out, then it does have all that information down the bottom, but if you're looking at it on an immediate basis, then you've got that information and you don't need to worry about having this printed off. I'm trying to help the environment as much as possible, so I print off as least as possible. And also, as you've said with GDPR, I'll often take something if I've got a core group meeting or any child protection type thing. I will write initials and then just write percentages down and things like that, and any concerns that I've got, so that then you're not taking any names or anything like that. So I don't often print these out, I just look at them on the software. Okay, right, so now assessment. So up here on assessment, this is something that I've been using a lot. This was one of my main functions, to try and save money for the school, but also make it less onerous for teachers, but also having that important information about the children and making sure that the progress is there. So with this one here, there were certain things that used to get on my nerves. So this bit here was okay, I'm happy to see that, but when I'm working on it, I don't want to see it. So here I go up to here and click on the show summary rows, so I don't want to see those at the moment. I want to look at this. Also, my staff, I don't want them filling in all of this information. They, in their planning, their evaluations, their work scrutinies, it's all looked at, okay? Lesson observations, I know that they're good teachers. So what I've asked them to do is to go on show hide and subject overall column, and they just have to fill this in for me, okay, which gives me an overview of what they are doing within that subject. All right, not all head teachers are happy to do that. I am, okay. And then from there you can go over to here and right click, select additional students columns. So if I'm looking for basic group information, I can go on to gender, free school meals, SEN status, gifted and talented, English is an additional language, pupil premium, so we'll just look at those for now, okay, and then that information comes up there straight away, okay. Also in this column here, if we right click on this column, you can show grade distribution, so it comes up straight away. I've got a lot more than this. This isn't just what I've got. I've got about 5 down here. So, and in some cases 6 or 7, dependent on the ability within that year group. But because in year 5 I've got children that are working at 2E, so emerging. So it's, and you get that percentage straight away. You can also count the students within that as well. So I like to have numbers as well as percentages, because obviously our cohorts change, and if we've got those numbers, we've got that explanation to whomever might come in, governors, Ofsted, well, yeah, that percentage has changed. However, I had a very able child move out of the area and a less able child move in. We're doing all we can to support that child. This is what's being done. But you've got that background information to share with them. Also with that, you've got the filter. So on here you can, if you're trying to focus just on your children that are at and above, to give you a percentage of that, you just choose that group of children. So you just choose that group of children, and then if you right click on there, I know that it's not giving us many, but if you right click, show grade distribution, it will just show you those children, and again you can count the students. So it narrows it all down for you, so it's less work for you to do. Okay, is that everything on that one? I think it is, yeah. Okay, so let's move on to SEN focus. SEN information. So we've got the lady with the little pink handbag, that's what Frank calls her. It works for me, I'm a visual learner. So if we go on to that one, and then choosing a child from there, and then obviously we've got the different panels. Are any of you aware of the different panels that you get for that? Okay, so you've got the panels going across the top, which obviously connect to the panels down the bottom. All right, so if we look at linked agencies, here we have different agencies that are connected to the children. Now what Frank has done for us is... Oh, is it the basic one? Okay. Sorry. I'll go back up for the
adult one.
It's the other agencies.
You can, if there's a provision map or a provision put in place for a child, and there's a particular member of staff within the school that's providing that training, you can link them by just clicking on other interrogate view, and that way you can link that person to that student, so you know that you're giving that extra help.
That support. Right, Frank's done something whizzy with this, haven't you, for our school, which could be done for yours, and it's to do with the area of SEN. So in this area, our main areas of SEN are here, so we've narrowed it down just for what we require at the moment, and obviously if it needed to change, it would change, but at the moment that's what we've got, so that then it's easy, one click, to put that information in.
I mean, so you won't have that panel on the data back at school, but because Cathy and Budeaux work on those 4 areas, I just put in the user-defined field with a drop-down. So just to prove that Sims is not set in stone, you can customise it to work for your school.
And then the reviews. If we go into reviews, now this one is really handy, and my Senko love this. So if you go into letters, focus, SEN reviews, review letter. Your letter is already there. You can, if you choose to, obviously put your own letterhead in and adapt it in that way if you want, which is what we've done back at school. However, it's there straight away with the information, and it's just printed out and sent off, and then of course it's saved in there as well. So also, it's all time-saving things. You can adapt it to your needs. There is a template there, isn't there?
There's a template behind which you can sort of edit to have an annual one, initial one, so you can have as many letters as you like. And then if you wanted to link it to, you can save it somewhere and then link it. So unfortunately it's not within the
I don't know how we're doing for time. Have you got them?
We're doing quite well.
Okay.
To our provisions.
Yeah. So new. And then this is where you can put down who's working with who and your costings. So from here you can create a report that gives you an analysis of breakdown of costings within SEN, which is really helpful for the Senko. It's really helpful for me as well. So yeah, the justification of where the money's going and how it's being spent. And then if we do school reports, running the school attendance report. So up at reports, we're going to run the school report. You can choose a long version or a short version. We're going to focus in here with the session attendance summary. But obviously you've got lots of other different choices that you could choose from. And then you've got all your different year groups as well as all year groups. You've got all your groups information. You can also change the dates of when that's created. So it's giving you live data from that moment in time. I use the short one more than I use the long one, but yeah.
But if you want to sort of drill down to see and just remind special education needs, the long version gives you that breakdown.
Okay, because it's all on different areas. Right, I think the last one is Sims reports, or have we? I don't know what time we're meant to be working until.
We've got another 4 minutes, we're absolutely fine.
They won't have time to ask any questions though, do you?
The other thing is, I've tried quick reports.
Yeah, let's go into reports. So reports, run reports. There are different ways of doing this as well, because you can go into reports and run reports, or you can go into the cog or the sunflower, as I'm told you can call it, and run it from there as well. So you've already done it. He's already done it.
And what I've said to Cathy and to Senko is all very well having these description types. How does that affect the individual? So it's a good idea when you're putting that new type in there to say how that affects the child, that it makes it far more meaningful to every member of staff. And then if you put that information in there, you can report on it.
Yeah. And also teachers can get that report. So whereas before we used to put it behind a cupboard door because you didn't want everybody to see, and also with GDPR and all of that business for different staff within the school, it's just there and they can access that now as well. So yeah, it's very helpful. And there are different SEN reports further on down. I mean, there's loads and loads of different reports that do lots of different things, but and then all of the SEN ones are really handy. She uses these regularly. The IEP one is slightly different, isn't it?
Something you might not be aware of, new reports have been made available, and you can ask Scomis for these reports, and they're safety reports. And they all start with an SPS, so you can ask for these, and then you can import them onto the system.
So this one
here for vulnerable groups, we might run that one. And then just wait
for the cog to work, and then it comes up with the report that you can then evaluate and analyse. While it's doing that, are there any questions? I mean, if you did want any information, this is obviously very quick to go through all of these different areas. You can have my email address, and if it's to do with SEN, you can have my Senko's email address, and Senko's can, contact her. She's fine about that. So, and she then could ring them or whatever. They could organise a time that if they were getting stuck somewhere and they wanted to do something, then they could speak to her. Or I'm quite happy for people to contact me. All right. There's the report. Eventually.
Down the bottom there, student details, that's the information behind there, and if I click on that cell there, if I was to change that to 95%, then anybody with less than 95% attendance will appear.
Will flag up, so. Okay.
I mean, that's just one, and there's about...
Yeah, there's loads and loads and loads of things, so...
Speak to the genius.
Yeah, speak to the genius. They're going to be inundated. Thank you anyway. I hope it was helpful. Sorry?
Is it possible to get the SEN?
Yes, yeah.